Craig, welcome to DITL.
Hi.
It's funny to see your name, Craig Sesser, on paper because you have a name in LA now like Beyonce or
okay.
you do. Like you are Craig. Like I feel like we don't know you as Craig Sesser. We know you as you are Craig.
No, the funny thing is, like,
Craigs.
when I introduce myself to people, I'm like, hi, I'm Craig, because that's what I do at the restaurant. And I don't necessarily think that people care what my last name is, nor does it mean anything to anybody. So if I'm in a business situation or I'm in outside of the restaurant, I have to almost remember it's almost awkward. But in the restaurant, I don't walk around going, hi, I'm Craig. I just walk around and go, how are you? How's everything? And then if they look at me kind of a little funny, I go, I'm Craig. I just want to make sure you're having a good meal or you need anything or whatever. So yeah, introducing myself with two names has become a little bit of a thing.
Yeah, I like it.
But I do not put myself in the stratosphere of Beyonce and Cher and Bono.
In my stratosphere.
Okay.
You're there.
It's really, it's kind of funny.
We're going to go through a day in the life of Craig Sesser.
Okay.
So let's start with, what time do you wake up?
I am typically woken up. I have 10-and-a-half-year-old twins. So there is something that generally happens around 7:30. It's either a boy flying on top of me and waking me up, or tackling me, or just making sure that I'm awake, or my daughter will come in and do it a little quieter and a little bit more delicately. We start at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So the cleaners come in at 6:30 in the morning. They work for us. They entirely clean the kitchen first, and then the prep crew comes in an hour later, and then they start prepping all of the sauces, all of the bases, all of the bread. We don't buy anything at Craig's. Everything's homemade. So that all starts in the morning. So you have to clean the kitchen from the night before, and then they go about and clean the entire front of the restaurant every day. Bathrooms, booths, shelves, bar, air vents. It's a really big deal with me. So when I go to another restaurant, I can't help but look in the corner of the bathroom, like the corners, are they clean? Are the air vents clean? Like, it's the details, right? Anybody can clean a mirror, right? So it's the little things that I look for. And I do the same thing in my restaurant, and it kind of drives me a little crazy when things aren't done. I'm like, how do you not see that? Like, I see it right away. Or when a light bulb's out, I'm like, how did you not notice that? But it's understandable if it's not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So that usually happens first thing, and then I'm usually at the restaurant by 9 or 9:30 in the morning.
Okay. And are you doing anything for yourself in those 2 hours?
I forgot. The first thing I do after the kids wake me up is I take 5 minutes and make sure to write down what I'm grateful for, what I'm working on, what went well yesterday, what I'm hoping will go well today. And every night for about 10 seconds, at some point during the night, I close my eyes and I listen to the restaurant. And it's me taking it in, because there's nothing that can mimic that energy and that voice. And so I'm always grateful that the place is packed, that there's like a din, there's dishes moving and silverware moving and people talking. And I always take that in. So I thought, well, what a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
Doing that. So then I usually go to the restaurant, and it's finances from the night before, making sure that credit card transactions went through, they hit the bank. Are there any bank issues?
This is all you. Like,
well, there's a team of people that do it, but I do have my hands on the steering wheel. Now, I may not be, I may say to somebody, oh, did this get handled? Did that get handled? Do we have any issues? But now there's a team of people that, are handling the admin and the finance and the scheduling, and it takes a lot of people to do what we do.
How many employees do you have?
115.
And how many do you directly manage?
I directly manage the management. Craig started out as a little restaurant, not a little, 90-seat restaurant 13 years ago. Everybody kind of came to me with everything. I'm essentially everybody's daddy, right? And I will fix all the problems. So to a certain extent, some people still come to me, but we're trying to build that hierarchy, that structural organization, so that there's me, there's a GM, there's an AGM, there are hosts, there are people that you can report to, chef and sous chef. so that you're not coming to me with every problem anymore. And I have a very good team that I trust implicitly to handle those things. But, I'll give you an example. In the last year, if I walk up to a table when I first walk in the restaurant, I may not know what the special is.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be unheard of 5 years ago, because I would be involved in what are we doing or what's the special tonight or why, because it usually comes from me listening to the customers about what they're in the mood for, because the weather changed. It got hot, you're in the mood for something else. If you're cold, you're in the mood for something else. If it's spring, you're in the mood for peas. If it's fall, you're in the mood for Brussels sprouts. So I kind of take on all that information and we use it for specials or for new dishes on the menu. So now chef is really good at kind of doing the same thing, and he doesn't really need my input as much.
And how does that make you feel?
It's good. It's me maturing into more of owning a little bit of freedom, right? And I'm not so good at that, right? That's it's a trait I'm kind of working through.
Ditto.
And I don't have to kind of white knuckle everything. I don't have to have my hands on everything for it to happen. Hire people that you really trust, like I do now. And then, there's Drew, there's Tiana, chef does a great job. Jason, the sous chef, does a great job. There's now people in positions that I trust implicitly. And not that I didn't trust people in the past, it was just different. So now I can take my hands off the steering wheel and go, okay, what's next for Craig's? And so next is growing the brand. We're going to be opening in Nashville in about a year. And then there's probably another project after that. And I can't do all of that if I'm down in the weeds.
I have this visual of you, and I want you to confirm or deny, of you like sitting behind a laptop in one of the booths, just like with people coming in and out of the booth with you all morning. Is that kind of what happens?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will generally set up somewhere in the restaurant.
You have a spot?
Yeah. I'm such a creature of habit. It's terrible. So yeah, there's typically a spot I set, and then the first thing I do is generally check the news, because we do have a high profile clientele, want to make sure that nothing hits the trades, or, I am grateful that a lot of people want to come to the restaurant, and if they're looking to be photographed and get some attention, that's fantastic. My job is to also protect people.
Yeah.
So if they want to come in quietly, then I want them to come in quietly, and hopefully, so I just want to make sure that nothing's happened. And then we've gotten to the point where we're kind of a mature restaurant, but you never want to like sink into that. So like one of the things we're always like changing things, like we change the ladies' rooms. We always update them every 3 or 4 years. Like nobody really probably even noticed, but we changed all the dishware. We changed the silverware. We changed the glassware. Like you're just constantly like, oh my God, how can we plate that better? How can we make this better? How can we do this better? Chef, we just invested in a pasta machine that now not only does he sheet pasta, but he extrudes pasta, which is like any macaroni or any rigatoni or any penne or something like that. So now every single pasta is made in-house. So it's just like, how can you keep raising the game?
Yeah.
But still be the hug when you walk in the door. It's like Craig's is a unique experience of food, service, and vibe. And I think all three are just as important.
You feel like you're part of this Craig's family, even if you're in there for just the first time.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole, look, the restaurant business is difficult, challenging, and you never know what tomorrow brings. The one thing that I do love about it is the personal connection, and that I can affect somebody's day. So you can be having a horrible day and you come to dinner at Craig's and you're like, okay, at least I feel a little bit better. Like the world is in a very funny place right now, and a lot of people are off balance.
Yeah.
They don't really know what's going to happen. And so if they're having dinner with friends and I see them smiling, I know for that hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is, that they're having a great time. And we were the host of that.
Right.
And that's a big deal. Like during COVID, we were doing food to go, and I hadn't even really thought about it. We kept all of our employees employed. We didn't lay anybody off, and we were doing food to go. And somebody came up and got food. It was a regular, and they had tears in their eyes. And I go, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, I know what's going on, but are you like okay?"
Yeah.
And they said, "This is the only thing in my day so far that is normal. Your food." And I was like, I never even thought
Yeah.
about it like that. And it was like, wow, that's powerful.
It
That's a
really
huge
is.
responsibility
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So you can't take that lightly. And that's the like, that's what feeds the soul.
It's a really special place, and
Good.
you're a special person.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am lucky. I have found something that I love doing and that I'm good at. And so when I think of my kids, my wife and I are always trying to instill in them a work ethic. And I always say to them, if I don't know what you're going to do, but whatever it is you do, I hope it never feels like a job and you love it.